is hope. One day I was born in the swamp. The day I was born, St. Peter cried. Five demons came to this world, looking to haunt me, looking to take me into sin. 3 female and 2 male dragged me to the gates of hell. I was bitten by a snake that one of them had put in my bed. 3 women took me into Babylon. I fell shadow of a crimson tide. I came into the 8th gate of sin. Through lust, I was raped. One of their demon boyfriends knocked me unconscious and hit me in the head. 5 demons dragged me to the gates of hell and tried to feed me to Lucifer, the sun god. I call him Seth, the angel of death. He put my body in a boat and sailed me across the mist. And I came into the Elysian fields right before the gates of Babylon. And I can look over and see Zion. I saw this golden tower of Babel where this archangel is held, my Lady Catherine. I was standing in the darkness, red and black, and I looked up to the sky and it was solid black. No stars did I see, no light shining above me. 5 demons dragged me into the gates of hell, and all of a sudden I saw one tiny star coming down from the gates of heaven. The Archangel Michael landed beside me and brushed the 5 demons off. He said, "Son, you do not belong here." I said, "Yes, I agree to that. Would you tell me where here really is?" I peered over and I saw a darkness. The darkness was so very dark. There were 2 cities on the other side of the gate. There stood Sodom and Gomorrah. As one of the demons was juggling my crap in her hand, and they dragged me through my blood. The Archangel Michael saved me from the gates of hell, and I stood there scratching my head. Where am I when the sky was red and black? Sir, I've always loved God. 5 demons took me into the darkness of lust, and I've been celibate for 15 years. Because of them, as a child, they followed me. They said I touched them when I did not. And the world let them rape me for some things I wish I had forgot. The Archangel Michael said, there's a way from the 8th gate of sin. There's a way out of Babylon and Zion. He said it's called Jacob's ladder, and he spoke the word Actu Natavius. I tried to define it. Octavia means baptismal pool. Actu Natavius, the lack of 8 puddles of water, if I could define. So the Archangel said, speak the word, and back I spoke the word Actu Natavius. And from the Elysian field did a spiraling golden staircase appear. The Archangel said, as you climb, do not look down, or the steps would disappear from underneath your feet, and you will fall back into Babylon. He said, this is because so a demon cannot follow you and use this way out. I had no idea where I was. I spoke the words Actu Natavius, and a golden spirally staircase appeared. He called it Jacob's ladder. And I used Jacob's ladder. I climbed and climbed and climbed, and once I looked down, and the stairs disappeared from underneath my feet, and I fell back down to Babylon. I spoke the words again and said Actu Natavius, and the ladder appeared again, and I started climbing. I was shot in the head. I was snake bit. One of the demons put spiders on me. I was bit by a black widow. I stuck my hand in a beehive. Someone put cyanide in my cigarette. 5 times my soul has left my body. 5 times that I can count. Maybe I died more than that, but I try not to look back. When I climbed to the top of the staircase, I awoke in my body. I came back to earth to face my parents, but no one understood what happened to me. And the demons that took me to the gates of hell, they followed me in their own bodies. And they killed me again. And I went to heaven. First I saw hell, and then I found the light. The first time I went to heaven, my body died when I was shot in the head over a joint and a $5 bill. I saw St. Peter, but I didn't know who he was. And I said, where the effing ground went? He said, you can't say that up here, son. It's not your time. I said, my time What is my time? Where am I? What do you mean? I didn't know who he was. I didn't recognize him. He said, it's not your time, son. And he pushed me off the cloud. And I woke back in my body. The demons came back. And they put a snake in my bed. I was bitten in the leg. I was bit by the side. The second time I died, I saw St. Peter again. St. Peter said, say, son, it's not your time. I said, hey, I recognize you. You're St. Peter. Yes, son. He said, my name is St. Peter Berg, and your name is Cullyberg. I am more likely to be the direct great grandfather. St. Peter said, it's not your time, son. And he pushed me off the cloud again, and I walked back up in my body. For the third time, it wasn't the same way. Some people around me realized what was going on and tried to stop these demons from trying to kill me with drugs and alcohol and sex and everything that brings doubt in this world. I started to have faith, because when I met the Archangel Michael that saved me from the gates of Babylon, before that I had never seen an angel, and I had doubt. I believed in God and I didn't want to die, but I'd never seen an angel, so I didn't think they were real. And then I found my faith. And in my faith, I went to church for the first time in a long time and drank the wine. I drank the wine for the first time, and a light dawned on my head. It was a golden wine, and I had a vision. I came home, and I sat in my lazy boy chair, and I fell asleep. And in this vision, this waking, sleeping, waking vision, I saw St. Peter again. And St. Peter said, son, God has called you up here. He summoned your soul out of your body this time. I said, you mean I can go in the gate this time? I can go into heaven? I get to talk to God? And within a second, I was before God's throne. And God sighed and said, son, so many have died. God said, my name is Jehovah to you, to your race and culture. Many people have called me Odin. Many people have called me Zeus. But from where you come from, I am known as Jehovah. And I thought, well, all the goodness in the world had come from him. That there is everything, an entity that a culture or a race of people that believes in, that God is the goodness thing of all that, and spirit, whether you believe in what name of him is or not, what name he should have, that it's not nothing to fight over. Emmanuel walked down the pearly steps and took my place by my side. The pearly steps were decorated with a hierarchy of angels. First was God and God's queen, the Holy Mother. I call her Faith, but many call her Mary. And then there was Emmanuel and Mary Magdalene. And then there was Joseph and Hope. And from there were the archangels. And I saw that the archangel Michael was missing his soulmate. That his soulmate Catherine was still stuck in the land of Babylon, tied to the golden tower of Babel. Emmanuel turned around and he touched the waters of a baptismal pool that was standing behind me. And from there I could see the earth. And I could see the demons that had killed me. I could see everything that was going on. There was a gate made of Noah's rainbow, the promise God had made not to destroy the world, not to let Lucifer destroy the world again. The gate of the rainbow is called the Archangel's Gate. It is before God's throne. It is past St. Peter's Gate. I sat there scratching my head, and then I saw a tree in heaven's gates. And then I saw another tree. One was the tree of knowledge, and one was the tree of life. And on the tree of life, there was the names of everyone who ever been born. And whether they've sinned, or whether they fell into hell, or whether they rised into heaven. I saw the tree of life. I saw how the world had changed. I saw a family tree of every person that ever been born throughout history. And when I looked into the baptismal pool, I saw the end of the world. I saw these 5 demons. And these 5 demons had corrupted everyone. Everyone thought I was a drug head. Everyone thought I was a bad man. Because of these 5 demons. And I saw the end of the earth, and God said, son, here's a seat next to me on my throne. If you sit down, you can take this seat next to the saints. You will be held high in heaven. And I looked back in the baptismal pool, And I saw everybody die. Everybody I loved on earth died. And they wasn't in hell and they wasn't in heaven. They died because of these 5 demons. These 5 demons had corrupted everyone. Started a chain reaction within the world. And my parents, my grandma, my grandpa, my uncles, my aunts, they all wasn't in heaven with me. And I said, God, so would you send me back? Send me back to earth. He said, I'll give you some time, son. Think about what you're saying. So I started talking to the saints. And I started talking to archangels. And they showed me these golden books in heaven. And I started reading. And said, I love the Bible. I love what it stands for. The goodness of it. Not everything in the Bible is correct. Politically correct. But if you believe in the goodness of it, if you can look at it with a whole heart, you can know what it means. So I said, God, please send me back. Send me back to earth. 100 years passed and I was in heaven. But God said, all right, son, I'll send you back. And I woke up in my body 5 minutes later after I came home from church that day. I drank the wine of the Mother Superiors for the first time. It was a golden wine. I could see the vision of these old Italian ladies that had been virgins all their lives. They were crushing the grapes with their feet in an old wooden wash tub. And then they would bottle the wine and age it for 30 years before even one person was giving a sip of it. I said, God, would you send me back? And God sent me back. And 100 years passed while I was in heaven. 100 years ain't nothing for an angel. It passes as if it was 5 minutes on earth. And I woke back up in my body. A reborn life. I came back to stop the 5 demons that brought forth the rapture of the reckoning. And that was 15 years ago.